All right, hello Tampa Bay. It's Mayor Jane here again for our afternoon update. A rainy one today. This is, boy, I tell you, that came through this morning at 6 o'clock and was wild. Went through pretty quick that storm, but it's been raining all day. We certainly need it, but being inside all day and having been inside for a long time is a little frustrating. I know without a doubt. Today, our guest is Jessica Muroff with the United Way Suncoast. Welcome, Jessica. Good friend
Thank
of
you.
mine, absolutely wonderful individual, and we'll introduce her appropriately here in just a minute. And we have a lot of great questions for you. So let's begin as we always do with our COVID-19 updates. In Florida, there are 30,174 cases with 1,012 deaths. In Hillsborough County, there are 1,020 cases. We just went up over that 1,000 mark and with 21 deaths. And as I always say, each of those deaths represents an individual, a human life where they left behind family and friends and loved ones. So we are doing everything that we can to make sure that we keep the number of positive cases to a minimum, but more importantly, we keep that number of deaths as low as it can possibly be. And we have done a great job here in Hillsborough County. As you've heard me say, the models indicated that we would be hitting our peak at the beginning of May, but we've actually hit that the first week of April. But with that said, that is based on the fact that we have tested 1% of the population. So we have to have more tests. We need about 2,000 tests a day. We have all of the collection kits in order to do that now. You know, that was such a problem up until a week ago to be able to get the adequate number of collection kits and the adequate PPP. But we have opened up new testing sites. We have one at Lee Davis Center over off of 22nd Street. There's one in Plant City, and there's another one in Ruskin that are run by Hillsborough County. Advent Health has one out at Adventure Island, and the Raymond James Stadium is still running. Also, you can go to your provider, the family health centers. There are just a number of places that you can go and get tested. So please do so. You can call 813-272-5900. That's the number for Hillsborough County Call Center, and they will ask you a series of questions. Basically, if you have any signs or symptoms, if you have a fever, you have a dry cough, anything along those lines, and you will be able to go and take the test. So please, please, please do so. It's free. There's no charge. So we need individuals to go and get tested. And as I have said all along, we need to have an appropriate number of tests so we know what the problem, what kind of a problem we have here. And then the second level of tests that are very important are those antibody tests. Once we can start testing individuals to find out if they actually had this virus, they were asymptomatic and they don't know they had it. So those individuals will have a level of immunity so they can go back into the workforce. So that's important too. We continue to be delayed with the delivery of those antibody tests. So we are doing all that we can to get those. We also need you to go on to Hillsborough County's website, and they have a survey there. Please go on and fill that survey out, because that is a syndromic surveillance system. And what that will do is to be able to show where we have hotspots throughout the county, those individuals that are exhibiting signs and symptoms of this virus. So then we can go to those particular areas, test, and get the services needed in those areas before the cases explode. The danger in one of the main dangers in this virus is the fact that it is so contagious, and the ease with which it is transmitted and the silence of it. So many people can have it and be asymptomatic. So please, please, please make sure that you're out there and you are getting tested. Very important. We are trying to keep citizens informed in a number of different ways with this, our Facebook show, every single day, bringing amazing guests on here that are educating you on a variety of topics on the virus, on the health professions' approach to treating this virus, on all of the amazing nonprofits that are coming together, how the schools are holding up, just a number of different individuals. So if there's anything you want to see and you haven't, let me know, please. We started another talk show, which is called Real Talk on Rona. And that is, again, another way that we're getting the information out. It's in partnership with the Tampa Family Health Centers. And those are all over our county. The city of Tampa, in partnership with the Tampa Family Health Centers, has launched Real Talk on Rona, which is an informational COVID-19 webinar series, and it provides residents a direct line of communication to doctors in our community. The webinar is hosted by a doctor or representative from Tampa Family Health Centers every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at noon. So residents are encouraged to send in questions. You can call 813-276-3490. Or you can send an email to Janelle McGregor. Everybody knows Janelle. Janelle.mcgregor@tampagov.net. Or you can just go on tampagov.net, our website, and you'll be able to see the information there. Also have another program, and it's USF Health Medical Matters. And that is a partnership between the city of Tampa and USF Health. And it is a Instagram live series. As I said, it's called Medical Matters, and it is airing every Monday and Wednesday at 10 o'clock, and you can find that at City of Tampa. So Monday's guest will be a virologist, Dr. Michael Ting. So remember, every Monday and Wednesday at 10 a.m. on the city's Instagram account, which is at City of Tampa. Give you a little update on One Tampa. We, as I said before, a program where we're putting together $8 million from a number of different funding sources, including the public. I always ask everyone that if you received a stimulus check and you weren't or haven't been affected by this virus at all, then you may think about donating that so that we can help out others in our community. So we have individuals that have stepped up in a big way. All of our sports teams, the Bucks, the Lightning, and the Rays. Several other groups have given up to $100,000. And we have other ones that, $5, $10. It all helps. And we are using that. The CRA interest funding is about $2 million. And as I said, the grant funding from HUD and CDBG grants, and then some of the city's emergency funds used for hurricanes, we're going to match the donations. So hopefully that will be as much as $8 million. And our goal is to help 2,500 residents with their mortgage or rent and utilities for a month, and then 800 businesses, same thing, rent and mortgage for a month and utilities. So we are currently going through all of the applications for the businesses. And so if you applied, you will hear in short order. I had a conference call this morning with Congresswoman Kathy Castor. She's always keeping us informed on what's going on. This latest release of the PPP funding, large portion of that is going to go directly to credit unions and smaller savings and loans so that it can go directly to small businesses. So again, check our website, tampagov.net, and we'll have that information on our website. You have to apply quickly. So you need to actually go on Congresswoman Kathy Castor's website, and it should have all of the requirements for those loans, so you can start getting all that paperwork together and get in and apply quickly. They ran out of those funds very quickly on the last round, so you have to make sure that you're taking advantage of that. One of the credit unions that I know is on that list is GTE Federal Credit Union. I actually was on their advisory board a couple of years back. Great organization, and they are here to help small businesses. So make sure that you are applying for those, and we will help you in any way that we can to get that funding. So next is my personal crusade to get everybody to wear a face cover. As I've said before, the testing, we need to do more tests, and we need to do the antibody test. We don't have the ability yet because we haven't received the kits for the antibody testing. So what we're going to have to do if we want to look at opening up any of our businesses is we're going to have to look at wearing facial coverings. So try to get the EPG to pass this. They didn't last a week ago Thursday. So my team and I spent the entire weekend calling large organizations all over our city to get them to voluntarily require their workers, their employees, to wear face coverings. And so we have all the big grocery stores. We have Publix, Walmart, Sam's, Winn-Dixie, pharmacies, CVS, Walgreens, Home Depot, the airport, all of the hospitals. So we have so many organizations that have stepped up and required that their employees wear them, and encouraging the customers to wear them as well, because that is the social distancing, 6-foot separation, and wearing of the masks are the two best steps that we can take. Tessa the dog is in here. She just comes in and leans on me. All right. And then you can go to hashtag Face the Facts Tampa and show us a picture of you wearing your face covering. Okay, next is our dance party, and I heard from Queen Bee this evening. She said she is going to be out there dancing, so I'll pretend it was me. But anyway, 6 o'clock tonight, like every night at 6 o'clock, iHeartRadio on all 6 of their stations is going to be playing "Blame It on the Rain," which would be an appropriate song for today. But 6 o'clock, get out there and dance, wave to your neighbors. Dance like nobody's watching, and then send us your pictures and your videos at City of Tampa or hashtag Happy at Home TPA. So very, very important. I don't have a list of all of the radio stations, but you guys should probably know them by now. 93.3 FLZ, 100.5, 103, I think 0.7, Roomba's 106. So you guys will be able to find them, no doubt. All right, so let's introduce our guest, our esteemed guest, Jessica Muroff. Our guest today is Jessica, and she is the CEO of United Way Suncoast. Prior to joining United Way Suncoast in 2019, she was the CEO for Girl Scouts of West Central Florida, did an amazing job there, and is doing an amazing job at the United Way. She began her nonprofit career at Frameworks of Tampa Bay Incorporated, where she served as CEO for 2 years and was previously the organization's director of marketing and communications. Prior to working in the nonprofit sector, Jessica was manager of account services at Raymond James Financial. I did not know that. Director of marketing at Saks Fifth Avenue. Do not tell my partner Anna that. Okay, she shopped enough. So we'll just leave that little tidbit off. An account executive for Roberts Communications. So that is quite a resume, and I know that that you have done wonderful things with the Girl Scouts, and in your short tenure with the United Way, you have as well. So we have a few questions for you. What are the most critical needs the United Way has identified facing our neighbors and our community as a result of this crisis?
So the third week in March, we launched our COVID-19 Response and Recovery Fund. And to date, we have had 125 applications from nonprofit agencies, totaling over $6 million in requests. And the immediate need right now, as you can imagine, of course, is financial stability, housing, food is huge, childcare for our essential workers, and also digital support for at-home, learning. So those are the key things that we're seeing emerging as immediate needs, and that we're quickly deploying resources to support in our nonprofit agencies.
Good, good. And do you work well with the other nonprofit agencies? I know Feeding Tampa Bay, Men, Meals on Wheels, those groups work very closely together. And then my good friend, and I know good friend of yours as well, Kelly Paris with the Children's Board.
Yes.
One of the things that she shared was that they are providing childcare for essential workers. So, sometimes individuals apply to you and your organization, and there may be another nonprofit that can provide that service for them. So are you in close contact? I know that your organization is more an overarching. I mean, you're sort of one of the big dogs up on the porch. And but do you work closely with a lot of the other nonprofits?
Yes, we're trying to protect everybody and
Yes.
provide support for sure. Yes, we're actually convening our nonprofit partners almost weekly on calls to understand needs. And because of those calls, we have understood what their volunteer needs are so that we can mobilize volunteers for their agencies, like setting up, additional food distribution sites. We've also started an in-kind repository so that we know what in-kind needs are happening, and we can connect our corporate partners and our donors with those needs as well. So these calls have been really good to share information like, the PPP, and other funding sources for our nonprofit partners to make sure that, and also to sharing collaboration and resources, and making sure that we're staying connected on those.
Yeah, it is. That is critically important, and to be able to, to refer individuals around as well. Clara Reynolds, a good friend with the Crisis Center. I know she's a friend of yours as well. And so many people are the stress, and the frustration and everything now that the needs out there are just so much larger than they really ever have been on every single level. So with that said, there's a need for volunteers, and I'm going out tomorrow. I've have in the past out to Feeding Tampa Bay. They have every Saturday at HCC. They hand out food, and one of the issues with that a lot of people have seen is that our farmers are having to let some of their produce go because they don't have transport services or someone to purchase it. And so all these agencies are looking for volunteers that can come and transport things back and forth, or provide that volunteerism to go through applications. I mean, there's just so many ways that people in our community can help out right now. So that's one of the things I would ask our viewers as well, is to always consider ways that you can volunteer. You can go out in any of these situations where you volunteer. The organization is going to ensure that you're safe, that you are appropriately distanced from others, that you have the appropriate protective gear, things are disinfected. And so find out, how you can go out and help out. So sure.
There's also virtual volunteer opportunities. So
Right.
there are some volunteer opportunities where you don't even have to leave your home. And we've been pivoting a lot of our services. We serve a lot of individuals in our community on tax preparation, and this could not be more important now than ever. And with the deadline being pushed out to July 15th, we've really mobilized quickly so that we can offer that in a virtual setting, so that we're still giving these families this really important service. And we rely on volunteers to help us do that. So there are virtual volunteer opportunities, and we list those on our site as well.
That's excellent. That really is excellent. So we really, that's probably a show we need to do just on volunteering in, sort of this new normal. So
Yes.
What's the United Way doing to meet all of the critical needs?
Several things. So since the middle of March, we have raised about $1.5 million from incredibly generous corporations, corporate partners, and donors. And we're trying our best to deploy those resources back out to the community, to our nonprofit partners quickly. And we've already given $867,000 back out into the community, which by what they tell us we're going to be serving is going to serve nearly 500,000 individuals across our region.
Wow.
So that's one thing. We're convening resources. So we have on our website just one page that lists all of the different resources, whether that's finding food or finding financial assistance, or the tax prep thing that I just talked about, educational resources, all of that. We're trying to convene all of that in one place on our site. Again, it's mobilizing volunteers. It's those in-kind donations. And we have one other quick thing that we've just launched, which is thanking a healthcare worker. So the community can go to our site, enter a message in, and we collect all those messages and deliver them. I love this. I love Dessa. I can see her.
She's just jumping up in the air. She's a mess, I tell you.
But if they wanted to thank healthcare workers, we have a way that they can do that through our site, and we deliver those messages to them safely. And in a couple of weeks, we're gearing up for Teacher Appreciation Week to show our love for teachers too.
Yeah, the teachers, I said, Dessa, come here. You're telling our backdrop, our professional paper backdrop.
I was worried about my animals interrupting me.
I know. I said that there's going to be a new appreciation for teachers. I said people are going to pull up with new cars and give them, the keys to the teachers. It's people just have no idea what those teachers have been going through, without a doubt. Well, that is very exciting. The ability to help so many people that are in need in our community. So another thing that people can do too. It was raining around my house the other day, late Sunday, so I went through my closet and took out 3 bags of clothes to take to Dress for Success. Well, 2 to Dress for Success and 1 for the homeless shelter that we have, all the T-shirts and things like that, and then the dresses for Dress for Success. So there are so many ways that people can help out, and I love the innovation. I love the creativity that you see in all the videos and you see in the actions as well, of people helping out in unique ways. It's what makes our city the greatest in the nation, is everybody comes together to lend a hand.
Yes,
So
and
go ahead.
I was just gonna to add on to that. I'm really just amazed by our nonprofit sector and how they're innovating. Whether that be to innovating in the way that they provide service virtually and so safely. But they're really doing incredible work to continue to support our communities and our families, and being a safety net for so many.
Yes, without a doubt. So what future needs or issues does the United Way anticipate developing in our community as a result of COVID-19?
Well, I think the most obvious and most serious is the financial implications of this crisis. And so we worry about housing stability and financial stability. We at United Way serve our Alice families, and these are families who are working but do not make enough to make ends meet. And so something like this can just completely throw them off track very easily. And I'm grateful for some of the measures that have been put in place, to stay on evictions and things like that. But this is going to be a long-term issue, and so I hope that that's something that we're going to continue to look at and work on, is how we can support these families through this crisis, because this is going to be a long-term issue and not one that's going to be solved in a month.
Yes, without a doubt, it is going to be long-term. So how can people contribute to the United Way's Relief Fund?
So they can just go to unitedwaysuncoast.org. It's right there on our homepage, our COVID fund. 100% of the donations to that fund go back out to individuals in our community. I just want to make that abundantly clear. We are making sure that everything gets put back out to support our community. So it's very easy. Just go online to donate. And on that same page, you can access if you want to volunteer or you want to see that in-kind donation list. That's also listed there. Okay,
that's excellent. So you can direct your funding to a group that you want?
Yes, if you wanted to, absolutely. So we've had some donors who have done that, who have said that they want to make sure that a certain amount of their donation goes to specific organizations for specific reasons, we definitely honor all of those too.
Good, good. That is
Yeah.
just wonderful. I am so thankful for you and for your organization and all you do in the community, and really your entire life of service. It
Thank
really
you.
makes a difference. So thank you, thank you, thank you. All
Thank
right.
you, Mayor.
Yeah, okay. You have a great evening. All right. So
You too.
before we hang up, Tampa ready, Tampa Lisa to 888-777 to get real-time information on COVID. And then Tampa Biz, Dessa's going to start barking in just a minute. Are you going to bark? Huh? Tampa Biz to 888-777. If you want to talk to somebody, we still have our call center up and running, and that is 833 TPA info. And I think that is, oh, Blame It on the Rain is the song. So make sure you're out there dancing up a storm. And remember, as we leave, I want everyone to have a wonderful weekend, but you need to stay calm, stay safe, stay kind, and stay home. Thank you all very, very much. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you.
Guys, have a
Bye.
good one. Take care. Come here, Jessica.